Hey folks, every now and again in life you just have one of those moments where you meet someone unexpected and you have a really interesting conversation, and you're just surprised what life will throw up at you. Well, for those of you who are familiar with London, I was on my way to Croydon last night and I met this unique white man on the train. What makes him unique, you ask, right? Well, the first thing I noticed about him, in actual fact, I really got to think about this if I'm correct for saying this. He was the first white man of his age where I've seen him sport the hairstyle known as the cane roll. Now, for those of you who are American or not familiar with the word cane roll, let me just give you a little bit of useless information here. Those who are of Afro-Caribbean origin, such as myself, and my parents' culture in my parents' part of the world, one of the main products of the West Indies is sugar. So sugar cane. So obviously in a sugar field of you have a row of sugar cane, hence cane roll. But obviously in America, one of their main products was corn, i.e. sweet corn. So of course in America they use the word cornrow. So that's little bit of useless information, but that will explain why in the Caribbean we call it cane roll. In America they call it cornrow. All right, so he had cane roll hairstyle, and what was noticeable was his age. He was an old boy, and I thought, wow, and the thing is, it really suited him. It looked really good on him. It went all back and it came down at his back. Came down his back, and it suited him. It really suited the guy. It made him look so unique, and he had a neat little sort of grey beard, all shaped up and very short. But he was on the chubby side, a little bit on the fat side. But it just worked with him. It just worked. So I said, excuse me, and I hope you don't take offence to this, but your hairstyle really suits you. You're the first white guy I've seen that's got a hairstyle like that, and it really, it really works on you. And he said, thank you. Then hence the conversation started, and he put on a little bit of a Western accent. He said, you're not easy, you're not easy, and he gave me the fist sort of thing. And he started telling me a little bit of his life story. He said, well, he's always been into black women. He's only dated black women. He's only ever been interested in black women. And of course, that sparked a little conversation with the two of us while we were walking up the platform at Croydon East Station. And I said to him, wow. I said to him, well, I am almost the opposite of you. Almost. Because in my dating history, since I was a teenager, apart from a few exceptions, I've always received a better welcome from women outside of my race. And I've said this before, the noticeable feedback I've tended to receive over the years is black women, on the most part, here in the UK, find that I speak too white and too English, and my demeanour is not black enough, as in typical black enough, not street enough, not hood enough. So I don't have the, yo motherfucker, I'm the wrong nigger to fuck with. I don't have that vibe, I've got more of a happy, go lucky, sort of smiley vibe going on. Anyway, so we were comparing notes, and then he said, oh, well, like he talked about his experience with mostly Caribbean women, and he made a reference that he tends to avoid Jamaican women, and I made a little joke, and I said, well, there's an in-house thing going on amongst West Indians. My parents are from Grenada, which is a small island, and unknown to the rest of the world, there's this thing with small islanders and Jamaica. And I said to him, it wasn't so much of a deal when I went to school in the 70s, because black kids were just black kids and we all just hanged out with each other. But my parents' generation, if you made the mistake of calling my mum a Jamaican, she'd be very offended, because as far as she's concerned, a Jamaican is arrogant, ignorant, aggressive, hostile, not very nice people. And she always claims that when they came over in the 50s, a lot of Jamaicans was making a lot of problems, causing a lot of trouble, and the white people couldn't distinguish a Jamaican from a Grenadian, from a Barbadian to a Trinidadian. So they all got the blame for what the Jamaicans was doing, and she's kind of never forgiven them for that. But that's their shit. Doesn't really apply to my generation and the generations after. So we're talking about that. And then he said something interesting. He said, "Oh, if you want sex, if you want a woman whose women are good in sex, you need to go for the French-speaking Caribbean women." And I said to him, "Wow, again." I said, apart from the few that I've dated, because the black women I have dated, they're not urban black women. They're more like your newsreader type of women. So apart from two, I take two to one side. I said, in my experience is not a reference for all black women, because I don't know all black women and I can't speak on behalf of all black women, or most, or a lot. I can only speak about what I have come across. So that's no reference to the black female nation out there. So in my experience, I said, well, I find women outside of my race more adventurous in the bedroom. I find them more fun, more open-minded, and they're just better at sex. Apart from two black women who are the exception to my rule. Okay. And he said, "Oh, really?" And I said, "But I made a YouTube video about something that I've had this discussion with other black men." And he said, "Oh, what's this question you've asked?" I said, "Well, the question we've asked amongst the bros, we said to them, right, a lot of black guys, a lot, not mostly, but just say a lot of black guys give the same feedback that I get, that they find that black women tend to be squeamish and prudish and not very forthcoming in the bedroom. I would imagine more so my age group. I'm in my 50s, so this would more apply to the old school boys, more so than the youngsters, because youngsters, there's a different world for them. World is a bit more international, so they have a different story. But when it comes to the old boys, we tend to have the similar feedback. And so we've concluded, we said to ourselves, we wonder, when it comes to white guys, their feedback is very different to our feedback. The white guys tend to find that the black women are very adventurous in the bedroom, very willing to explore, whereas we find is more or less the opposite in most of our cases. So we wonder, is it that the white guys are getting a different type of black woman, or are the black women letting themselves go more in the bedroom with someone outside of their race and culture? I still haven't had an answer to that question yet. And he said, that's a difficult one, because he can't really answer that question, because he could only go by his experience, and his experience is not my experience. So where can you say, only a multitude of black women can really give you their opinion on that. And out of the multitude, you got to come up with your own conclusion. But that's a difficult question to answer, because not all black women are the same. They don't have the all same outlook. So it's one of those never-ending questions. So we talk. But the one thing that really blew me away with him, right? Wow. All right, I have 3 offsprings. I have an adult daughter and 2 teenage boys and two grandchildren. Now, what this white guy I can't remember his name. I wish I could remember his name. But if you see him in Croydon, he's the only white guy that looks how he looks. He's a one-off. He is a one-off, right? So I've got 3 children, 2 grandchildren. And you know how many kids he's got? I couldn't believe it. He said he's got 25 children. 25! 25! The Bob Marley II. 25! I said to him, 5 children would bankrupt me, mate. 5 would kill my wallet. 25? My God, 25, you know? And I've looked after my children for all their lives, you know, financially and stuff. 25 children. I still can't get my head around it. And now I'm going to take him at his word. He could be bullshitting me, but I'm going to take him at his word. He's claimed he's had over 2,000 women. He's 75 years old. He's still at it. You know, he's still at it. And he claimed that the age group of women he tends to go for is around 28, and this year they're 28 years old. And I'm thinking, wow, there's me at 55 years old. If I'm looking through, let's say I'm looking on a dating site, i.e. Tagged or Tinder or something, and as soon as I see a woman, oh, she looks attractive, then I look at the age, I think 33, 34, 32. My daughter's 34, and it's a bit of a head fuck for me to knowingly date a woman same age or younger than my daughter. It's a bit of a head fuck. Doesn't apply to all guys, but for me, it's a bit of a head fuck. You know, okay, if I met a woman, she was 25, and she said, Ron, you know, let's have a good fucking session tonight, but in the morning, I don't ever want to see your black face ever again. I'm fine with that. That's cool. I can live with that. But if she said, Ron, you know, I'd like a relationship with you and, you know something long term, let's phone numbers. Oh, by the way, I'm 25 years old. I'll be like, ooh. Oh, I don't think that could work, because by the time you get to 35, you may well be a completely different person to by the time I get to 65, you see what I'm saying? Whereas I would put my trust more in a woman if she's in her late 30s, preferably in her 40s. I would more rely on being with someone like that than someone who's young, you see what I'm saying? Yes, I know younger women look better, but looks fades. You know, at the end of the day, I mean, of course, I've got to have, you know, you've got to have some kind of standards. Of course, I agree with that. But at the end of the day, you know, if the person's an arsehole and they're making your life a misery, then looks has no value. They're just a beautiful cunt, you know. Anyway, so anyway, the conversation I had with this guy last night was just really, it was just one of those eye-opener moments. He was a one-off, you know. I mean, I know there's white guys out there like him, but you don't meet white guys like him very, very often. So if you see this guy in Croydon, cane roll, glasses, shaped beard, about 5'8" tall, but on the chubby side, you know, give him a good give him a big hello, okay? All right, folks, I know it's a bit of a long video today, but I had to share that experience with you. Oh, let me just add something very, very quickly, just in case I may have offended some people, because I know what women are like. They're emotionally, some of them are very delicate and very easily offended. So, in regards to my dating history, i.e. me dating mostly women outside of my race because of the response I've had from outside of my race, any stereotype that I have in my head, that is my problem. Based on my experience, I know, but it's my problem. It's not your problem. So you don't have to worry about what problems I have. For example, I've had this discussion. Sometimes I see a particular type of black woman. She looks very ghetto. There's 3 stereotypes that comes in my head. One, I think if she hasn't got an attitude, she's going to be shit in bed. If she ain't shit in bed, she's probably going to be a gold digger. I immediately think that, but then I immediately cancel it out because I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. But as I said before, that stereotype or preconceived ideas I have, that's my problem. That's something I got to deal with. That's my issue. It's not your issue. Okay? So you do not need to get offended because that's my problem. That's my shortcoming. Okay? And I got to live with that and I got to deal with that. So there we are. I hope that has been of help, because I do recognize, even though my stereotype do apply to some women, but it's still wrong for me to have that preconceived idea. And like I said, it's my problem. I got to deal with it. Okay. So yeah, there we are. Okay, like, sorry for the length of the video today. I had a lot to say. Anyway, folks, hope you enjoyed watching this video, and well, whatever comments you want to put down there, it's up to you. Whatever you want to put, like whatever you want to add. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, bye.